learners. Today we're going to talk about Python global and local variables. A global variable is any variable in Python that's defined outside of a function. So my variables in this program, Superman and bad guys, those are both defined outside of any function. We would call those global variables. Inside of my function, I've got some arguments to the function or parameters, and those are local. And even though one of the variable name choices is the same as my global variable, really this is creating a local version of Superman, and we've got a local variable villain. So when I run this, I'm passing into the function, I need to pass into the function the Superman as well as the bad guy variable, because this function takes two input arguments. You need to make sure that when you call a function, you're passing in the right number of arguments. So I'll pass in 100 for a Superman strength and 50 for my villain strength. And my global variable is bad guys, but it's just going to put 50 inside of a variable called villain. And then I'm going to reduce Superman's strength by decreasing it by 50. So 100 minus 50. And we should print after the fight, the hero has a strength of 50. And we go ahead and run this, and it is going to say after the fight, the hero is a strength of 50, but what might be surprising is that wasn't a lasting change to Superman's strength. We get down to our last line of the program and he's back up to 100% strength. So how could that be? Well, I came up with a little diagram. So when you call the function battle and you pass in Superman and bad guy, what's really happening is you have a Superman variable that is pointing to a spot in memory that has 100 inside of it. And outside of the function, the name is Superman. Inside of the function, there's a separate like Superman, but it starts out that they're both pointing to the same spot in memory. But as soon as you make a change to that Superman variable, then we're no longer going to point to that spot in memory. We're now going to be pointing to another spot in memory that has the changed value, the number 50 in. So that would happen anytime you're dealing with an immutable data type like an int or a string or a tuple, and you're making some kind of a change to it where you're trying to assign this Superman to another value. So yes, we have two variables that are called Superman, but they're pointing to different spots in memory. And outside of the function, we're still pointing to the spot in memory that has 100 in it. So how could we make a change? How could the battle function make a lasting change to Superman's power? Well, we can add in a line global and then Superman to say to Python, we want to be talking about the global variable. And because we're talking about the global variable, we don't actually need to pass it into the parentheses anymore, because that makes like a local copy that's possible. Here, we only want to be talking about the global variable. So I'm going to now have this function only take one input argument, and I'm going to change the global variable Superman, and I run it, and his power will go, keep an eye on the second line, the print statement. His power is going to go down to 50, and it's 50 whether or not you're inside the function or whether you're out of the function. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to stop it right there.